Alright, here we are, back at it again. Alright, so I'm just testing out the Fenix A320 in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Oh, I'm sorry, I kind of... Ooh, hello. Interesting. Okay, so anyways, where were we again? So, I am testing out the Fenix A320, um, again, in SLH Sim Designs, um, Guadeloupe. So we are sitting on the ramp here. We are in the GA ramp. We're not supposed to be here, but we are here. And we have not yet gone into the air. Well, I have gone up and I opened the doors, but I forgot how to close the doors. It didn't show me. But um, you and I were learning it as we go along, and we are going to be doing it as time goes by. So I invite you to stick with me while we go ahead and do this. I'm just going through all of our checklist and procedures here because I have them all strewn about and I gotta get them into something that is gonna hold them in place a lot better than just being on my desk as is. All right, just making sure that I have all the checklists in the right order. And today we're gonna go ahead and head down to our aircraft here. We're going to be flying on VATSIM, so we do have our VATSIM active. Our flight plan has been filed, which means that we are going to be flying, um, in and out pretty good. Let's see. Do we have... Yeah, so it's going to be just 2 flights. I'm going to fly down to Martinique and then from Martinique back to Guadeloupe. Pretty short flights, and they're pretty cool. Um, while I have a lot of different things to download here, including, transferring all of my stuff from 2020 over to 2024. Um, yeah, our flight planning has been filed. Just checking to see if they are able to see me on VATSIM radar. Make sure that we do have a flight plan and everything. And we're planning all we need to plan as we have it here. Nav database is taking a while for it to load up. Because apparently I did make some adjustments to my Google account, so a lot of my stuff has not yet been populated and it has not come over yet. But while we're waiting on that, there we go. Let's connect to VATSIM. Yeah, it should get me pulled up. My Navigraph is there. Everything else is loaded perfectly. Just waiting for that to initialize. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and start our ACARs because we do have our VAS ACARs here that we use to for SkyTeam Virtual. This is under SkyTeam Virtual, so if you guys are ever wondering what virtual airline I'm flying for at that present time, so that's it. So right now we are on the ground here. There's a lot of persons walking in and out. I just came from the FBO here, the little lounge, and we're gonna be heading down to the aircraft. Beautiful weather we're having today. It's not as rainy as we had the other day, so it's pretty okay. So this is pretty much where we're gonna walk and we're gonna get into our aircraft. Now we're gonna go ahead and power up the aircraft and switch on all the lights, and that way we can go ahead and verify that all the lights are working and do our walk around. So now we're just gonna head into the aircraft. As you see, I already opened the doors. But closing them is another story. I'm not gonna fight with it for now. So we're gonna head in. There is a specific way you gotta close them, but um, I am not too sure. I'll leave that up to everybody else. So we're on the aircraft. As you see, it's pretty much empty. Nothing really of note right now. The aircraft is cold and dark. So let's go ahead to on the flight deck, and we're gonna go ahead and take a seat in our aircraft.
This parking is too small for your aircraft.
Yes, I am aware of that. All right, so battery master is on. Our nav lights are on. We got our electrical power on. Crew supply and oxygen is on, and our ground control is on. All right, so as we go through the process of checking our things here, so pre-flight is going to be our parking brake is on, weather systems are off, predicted wind shear is off, spoilers are disarmed and retracted, flaps are retracted, engine mode selector down here, we see that's normal. Thrust levers are at idle. Transponder mode is on standby. Landing gear lever is down. Windshield wipers are off. Alright, so battery 1 and 2 are on, external power is on. We're going to go ahead and do the APU and engine fire tests at this time. Alright, that's engine 1. There's engine 2. And then we got our APU test. Check. Crew supply and ground control. Ground control is on, crew supply is on. Evac is set to captain. Down here. Aiders 1, 2, and 3. Aiders 1, 2, and 3. All to nav. Cockpit lights are as required. Nav and logo lights are set to on. Nose poking signs are set to on and auto. Emergency lights, they're armed. And we're going to go ahead and get our EFB setup page. Alright, let's select our Fenix here. And then let's tap to import from SimBrief. It's going to be delayed. And let's take a look at a few things here. What do we got? Nope, we're not in panel settings. Go to sim settings. I like to have all these turned on. Nav and go around, so in the event that we're going around, it'll just follow the nav. Cabin, the controls, we need auto jetway and auto door simulation right here. Not in home cockpit mode, so we'll leave that. RA callouts, I like everything on because why not? We'll keep everything as is. GSX is set here. Cabin announcement. We're not going to mute on task switch, so that means that we will hear everything. And yeah, so let's take a look through here. And let's go ahead and perform. While we do this, we're going to go ahead and do our walk around and allow the allow GSX to do their refueling and boarding.
This parking is too small for your aircraft.
Alright.
Please don't load aircraft until the fuel truck arrives and ask to do it.
Alright, let's check our company message. Let's go to Atsu. AOC menu. We're gonna load up a few things here. Receive the message and our load sheet. We're gonna accept that. Return. AOC menu. Flight init.
Catering vehicles are on their way.
Init data request. Alright. AOC menu, and then let's go ahead and flight mode guidance system. Alright. Alright, let's go to init. Init request. Everything is being loaded up. We can hit IRS in it. Align on ref. Confirm that align. Let the aircraft IRS systems align. Our Air France 604 is our call sign. Let's check sim brief for our costs. We don't need that. We can go into here. I just remembered. Pilot briefing. We can take our cost index from here. Our cost index is 5.9 and our flight steps is 160. So our cost index 5.9 and our climb is flight level 160. Pretty low climb, mainly because of the fact that well, we don't have too much. That is really remarkable here. So we're at a Caddy 2 Fox departure with a Caddy departure. I'm looking at that on Navigraph as well. So I'm pulling up my Navigraph chart. So it's runway 12 for the departure, Caddy 2 Fox, and the Caddy transition will automatically load up. And then we're going to Fort de France, which is the arrival. Let them move the fuel.
Until the fuel truck arrives and ask to do it.
Definitely, I won't. All right, we're loading in. Download. We got some arrivals. And we have a Caddy 2 arrival actually. No, we don't want the Caddy 8 Fox.
Fuel system to set the desired fuel quantity.
All right, so there is a Caddy 2 X-ray arrival. One right is open. It automatically opens. All right. All right, so we got that, and we have ILS Zulu arrival. All right, so I'm planning my entire arrival long before everything. So ILS Zulu, Caddy 2 X-ray, approach via. We're via Carrick's. All right, return, insert, and it has been loaded up. We have to remove Fort de France, FOF, if we still have it here. So once this loads up, we'll verify our routing, and we're gonna go ahead and perform our walk around right now. So fueling is going on. Oops, something that I forgot, our lights. Something that I would ask the FO to do. So we're gonna make sure that all our lights are turned on. Gonna be walking out. And we're gonna check to make sure that everything is working. All right, we do see our strobes. So we're gonna start from ahead here. All right, we do have our landing lights. We do have our runway turnoffs. We do have our taxi lights on. All that is checked. All right, so we're gonna start from here. We're gonna take a look at our probes here. Everything looks good. Ground crew will handle this. External power is in use. Lights tests, check, we're good. Tires look good. Let's go around this way so we can ensure that we can make that full round. All right, so we're gonna check our engines here. Our blades, we can roll these, pretty nice. So we're taking a look at our spinners here. We don't see any damage. Spinners look good. No damage on the interior cowling of the aircraft. Alright, check through here. Belly of the airplane. Check out our static ports. Looks good. No blockages. And our AOA vein right there looks good. Engine looks perfect. Wish I could click and open this to check our oil. Be cool, but you can't. Can't do it on the FS Labs either, so I'm guessing that we should be okay. This is the fuel in panel. Let's check. Refueling looks okay.
This partner is too small for your aircraft.
And the refueling has been completed already. Whoop. Bro just ran straight through me. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, let's take a look at our suspension. No. Suspension brakes do look like we need to have them replaced. They're pretty much in need of replacement. Alright, so we're back looking at the leading edge of the wing. Pretty much doing this in the incorrect order, but taking a look at the leading edge of the wing, we do see our nav lights and our strobes are flashing. Torque lights look good. Taking a look at our underside of the wing, it's a little bit discoloration there, but it's okay. Static wicks, we do have all our static wicks, which are here for static discharges and lightning strikes. Alright, we look okay through here. Sorry about that. Still got some static wicks up here. They all look good. They all look fine. We're gonna go ahead and move around. And our passengers are boarding already. That's cool. Alright, look at all our static ports. Can't touch that because we don't have any fuel here. Only got 99 passengers to board. Strobe light back here. Looks like it's working perfectly fine. More static wicks. We're all set through here. Alright, let's go. Everyone looks good. Alright, look at the trailing edge of the wing. Still got all our static wicks here. Alright, we're gonna check the brakes on this side. Still looks the same. I mean, it's supposed to be out a little bit, so that means that we gotta do some changes. I need to take a look at it and see if that's the way it should be initially. Wing here, got some streaks, it's okay. We can see our red nav light here, and we can see our strobe flashing right there. So the leading edge of the wing, sorry guys, I'm passing by. Leading edge of the wing looks good. Engine looks good. Take a look here. No bird strike detected. Oh, he kind of ducked down. And let's grab this and rotate it. Looks like it's rotating freely. No issues there. So we're gonna go ahead to the front to see the static ports and also AOA vane. All good. Avionics equipment ventilation is all checked. Did we close our fueling panel? I don't want to have anything open for them to say that I didn't. I have such a bad rep. Alright, and okay. Alright, so we can go ahead and I know the passengers have already boarded, so we're gonna go ahead and board our aircraft now. Ooh, she looks. I wish I could have seen them on board, but you don't see them, I guess. Alright, so we can go ahead and switch these off. Oh, nav light stays on. Alright, and we are all set with that. Now let's just go ahead and verify our routes. Switch to plan. Verify. Where is there a hold? Did I see a hold? Oh no, hard low. Alright, time point, and we're all straight into our arrival. Perfect. So see, pretty good. We planned it. Set our constraint on. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and continue right now. Enunciate a lights test. Alright, so all our lights are illuminated. No bulbs are burnt out. Don't see anything of significance here. No bulbs, no bulbs, no bulbs. Everything looks good all the way through. Annunciator lights test is complete. Probe and window heat are set to auto. Anti-ice is off. Air conditioning as required. Fuel pumps, we're going on right now. Seeing that we've already refueled. Doors are open. Cargo smoke test. That's checked. Accu brake pressure. Brakes release. Brakes set. That's checked. ECM status. Alright, there you go. Very cool. This check. ECAM recall. This. Now we're going to be checking recall. Normal. Barrow set. EFIS. Flight director constrained. ARC. And we're set to 10 nautical miles. Alright, FCU check speed heading and set altitude targets. So we are going up to 5,000 initially. Our boarding is complete. That happened pretty quickly, but we should be all set to go. Alright, dismiss. Let's go to Fenix. I'm going to send the information over to them too. Let's go ahead and start the APU at this time. Alright. APU has been started. When we're in Flight Sim 2020, we do have a lot more time on our hands because we don't have the walk around or the stuff to do the walk around and so on. 2024 actually opened that up, so we're all set for 2024. I want to wait for our APU to start. Yeah, we have nothing more. Set our cabin and our PA. Door is opened. Oh yeah, it is. Alright, we're close that door. Door is norm. APU is coming alive. Got a company message. Let's go to received messages. Load sheet. We're gonna accept that load. 99 plus 4. So we do have a decent amount of passengers on board. So looks like a lot more persons came on. Alright, APU is available. APU bleed is set to on. We're gonna disconnect our external power. RC belt signs are going to on. Thrust servers are idle. Fuel quantity is checked. Takeoff data. We're going to go ahead and do our departure preference. Again, these are things that you would typically have an FO to do. So when one person is doing the walk around, the other is doing this. So transponder mode, sorry, transponder. Here we go, transponder mode to auto, engine mode, or no, beacon lights are going on right now.
This parking is too small for your aircraft.
Engine mode selector is going to ignition. Parking brake will wait for GSX to complete their push. Are they gonna do a push? Yeah, they're gonna perform a push. So we're gonna wait for them to do that. And we're gonna wait for the pushback and start to commence. Alright, so we don't have any ATC online today. Let's go ahead and take a look at the taxi and the airport information. Tower is 118.4. Switch over to 118. Now we're going over to 118.4. Alright, here we go. We switched over to 118.4. Alright, does not look like we need pushback service. So we're just going to go ahead and start engine 2. Right, waiting for engine 2 to become available before we start engine number 1. Engine 2 is available. We're switching to engine 1. The thing I may want to do is adjust. Oh, I got to do something with my settings here, which is my control settings. All right. All right, let's see. Power management, throttle. It's got decrease, it's got all of those. Let's do that. Reverse. We need reverse access. Says joystick button 7. All right, let's see if it did do something. All right, there we go. We got it. Perfect. Okay, I'm sorry. I had to make some settings adjustments here. So, all right. We have no park pushback done, so we just a taxi out. Our parking brake is on. Engine mode selector goes back to normal. APU bleed is off. APU master is going off. Our flight controls are gonna be checked right now. We got full left, full right, neutral, full up, full down, neutral, full left on the rudder, full right on the rudder, neutral. Flap select 1, pitch trim is, I think it's down. Yeah, it's down 0.4. There we go. And rudder trim is 0, anti-ice is as required, flight instruments are checked. That checklist is complete. Taxi, we got taxi lights are on, we're ready to go. Brakes are off. Alright, and then we're gonna turn out here so that we can start our, perform our taxi out to the runway. Right, as we get onto our taxi here, we're gonna switch on our taxi and our runway turn-off lights are set to on. Strobes are set auto. And waiting for TO config. Now, one of the things that I've noticed is that there is a little bit of input delay. All right, let's go ahead and complete the items here. Max, spoilers are armed, TO config, press and hold, TO config set to normal. And that checklist is complete, so our taxi checklist is now complete. Thing is, the audio for this sounds pretty low, if I might say so myself. Again, we're in SLHM Designs race set. It's a pretty short flight, about 40 minutes, so shouldn't be too difficult to get in and out. Race set traffic, AFR604. We're taxiing to runway 12 via Foxtrot. We're at Foxtrot now, backtrack runway 30 for runway 12, raise that. Alright, woof, it's bumpy here. We gotta try to slow down on these bumps, brother. They fix these? Oh well. Alright, we are entering the runway.
Cabin crew seats to take.
Cabin ready. Yep. Getting a call.
Hi, Captain. The cabin is now secure for takeoff.
Thank you. Alright, so we've already called reset traffic, let them know that we're backtrack. Now we're just going to go ahead and switch our weather radar to on, predictive wind shear to on, TCAS, TARA until it's above. Spoilers are armed, auto brakes are set max, ND terrain is on the FO side. Stereo lights, our cabin crew has been advised. Stereo lights, we're gonna on with the landing lights right now, on with the strobes. We'll switch our swing lights on. Let's put our nav and logo lights to on at this time. Nose wheel lights are gonna be set to take off. Packs are gonna remain on. Ecom memo, takeoff, no blue, checklist is complete. For some reason, the audio sounds a lot lower here. But I think it's because on 2020 I do have some extras, an extra sound set. We're moving a little bit too fast on that runway there. We'll almost hit 30. Switch to 20. Range change. Range change. Not range change. All right. Alrighty, yo. So we're gonna be turning around right now on the runway. So we're at the end. Here we go. So we're making a left-hand turn, so we are able to line up a little bit better. I like the friction modeling of the aircraft, and it does feel like you are really turning an aircraft here. Alrighty, here we go. Alright. Now I don't have a thing, but I'll try my D10s. Man, flex, SRS, runaway, auto thrust, blue. Hopefully we got this. Again, I don't have no D10 set for my thrust, but V1, rotate. Button climb, gear going up. Sorry about that. Again, my thrusts are not set properly for AP on. Go ahead and get our runway turn-offs off and our lights. These. Okay, now I think I got it correctly. It's all the way up there. It's not even in the D10 I normally have it for flights in 2020. All right, so climb thrust. It went into climb pretty quickly there. All right, so we are currently in our climb. Reset traffic, AFR604. We're airborne passing 2,100, climbing to flight level 160. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and switch up to 160. All right, after takeoff, yeah, flaps retracted now. Thrust climb, spoilers are gonna be disarmed at this time. Flaps retracted, packs are on, anti-ice is as required, exterior lights, runway turn off lights are off, nose light is off, checklist is complete. Mistakes are going to be made, especially with the fact that this is the first time I'm going to be flying this in 2024. We're already experiencing some turbulence here. Do I have it on realistic turbulence? That's the thing. Because if so, landing is going to be pretty interesting in this. Alright, let's try it again here. Or have a graph. Climb, we passed through transition altitude, which is 5,000 barrel reference. Standard, waiting for passing 10,000. Alright, so I'm gonna have to calibrate my throttles when I get the chance because again, they're not calibrated for this, they're calibrated for 2020. So when I flick across, I switch on our nav aids just to ensure that we're good. Nav aids is mainly for in cruise, but I'll switch them on right now so we know exactly where we're at. You see we are experiencing some turbulence around here, which is expected. 10,000 feet, landing lights are off. We'll keep our seatbelt signs to on due to the turbulence around. And I believe the turbulence is unrealistic, so that's why it's really like getting thrown around a lot. do have traffic in our sights here. He's within our blind spot. Make sure to see him. So we're not able to see him, but it's a good thing he's pretty high, so he's way higher than we are right now. Looks like he is still climbing. As we climb, he's still climbing. Again, this is going to be just a short flight, 40 minutes from Raiset in Guadeloupe to Martinique. I'm going to make some adjustment. The realistic turbulence again is having this aircraft move around like it's a Cessna. All right, let's go ahead and make some adjustments here. Let us see, assistances, that's where we need to go. Turbulence, there it is. Low, save. There we go. Perfect. No more bumping around. Should be okay from now. One of the things again I would love to have seen is our visible passengers. I would have loved to seen our seated passengers, but doesn't look like we can see it from here. Alright, so we're at cruise right now. Seatbelt signs, we can switch them off. And we're gonna check our performance here for arrival. Next phase, next phase, next phase, here we go. So now we can check the weather at our destination, which you go by doing this. Go to my flights, check our meter to our arrival, 080 at 10 knots, 30 at 10:11. So 080 and 10, 10:11, and our temperature is 30. There we go. Now we're going to check our minimums at our arrival airport. Close that off here. Open chart overlay. Resume down. We'll do the maximum, which is 350. It's 370, but for our aircraft it's 350. Radio check. We're flying over Dominica right now as quick as can be. Not sure since when Dominica has snow, but to each his own, I guess. Douglas Charles Airport is down here. And we're waiting for our top of descent. 21 miles. All right, so we're prepping for descent because everything is going to happen so quickly that you don't want to be behind the aircraft. There's our top of descent point already being shown. All right, so we're going to review our descent. So our landing performance, we have reviewed that. TCAS is going to be set to below right now. Approach briefing. We did not complete our approach briefing yet. Our approach today is going to be into Martinique. It's Fort de France, and we're going to be doing the Caddy to X-ray arrival, Caddy transition. It'll be an ILS runway, or ILS Zulu runway 10. The chart is 11-1, 16 September 2024. Really and truly, there's nothing of note to really look at. We are only going to be taking a look at our missed approach altitude. Is climb straight ahead, then right turn direct to Fox 512, and then we're going to continue over to Vodak, where we'll rejoin the ILS and then follow the ATC instruction, which we don't have any ATC online. Minimum today is going to be 350 feet, and our transition altitude is 9,000. Our aircraft today is still all set. We have just verified our fuel. Fuel looks good. And we are about to go top of descent right now. After landing, we will turn on the APU before we get off the runway, or as soon as possible, so that we are able to reduce the time it takes for once we get into the gate, so that we can shut down our engines. Our flaps are going to go all up because our company requires us to have it all up, although in the manual it does say that at 30 degrees, anything above 30 degrees, you leave the flaps one notch down. But besides that, the aircraft is all good. No issues, no technical delays. We'll be doing a visual landing for runway 10, so we should be all clear. Setting altitude 3000, waiting for top of descent. So we are on the arrival right now, and it's an ILS Zulu arrival. So let's go ahead and engage our descent. All right. Approach briefing is complete. Anti-ice is as required. Checklist is not complete, but waiting for 10,000 and transition altitude. The way our reversers work on this on these throttles is once you go into the reverse detent, or once you go into the idle detent, I have to switch down into the reverse detent and throttle up. So it's not like, I can pull it all the way back. I have to pull it down into the detent so I can activate our reversers and then push up like you're going to take off again. Then do the same thing in reverse to deactivate it, because if I do not do that, I am going to still, or the aircraft is going to, not go into reverse, or it's going to remain in reverse if I don't reverse it out. Or if I switch it to the point where, it's just pull it back and that's it. What tends to happen is, all right, so we need some speed brake. What typically tends to happen is the aircraft tends to just select minimum reverse or idle reverse, and although idle reverse is fine, but all right, well, let's see. Now we're gonna go low auto brake for this. The runway is pretty long, so and I believe idle reverse is okay as well, but we will see. going to be the only flight that we do because I am super tired. I need to go take a rest. So what I will do, okay, looks like we're above the descent, or the green dot there, but it's okay. All right, 2000 is our approach altitude. Below 9000, my lights are on, seatbelt signs are on. Switch our no smoking signs to on because, I mean, why would you? Weather down in Martinique is pretty lapse. There's not much to see. Again, it's going to be pretty clear heading down to Martinique. Did it. Ten, 11, 27. For the France traffic, AFR604 is on the arrival for runway 10 Zulu. Tired. Well, there goes the green dot, and we're diving. Let's go down. All right, so down to 2000. All right, so 3000 is our missed approach altitude, or missed approach altitude. Yep. Need more drag. But again, this aircraft is slippery with the winglets or the sharklets. They tend to like cut through the air pretty quickly, so we are going to be getting down. We're going to be, you know, speeding up as we descend. That's different from the wingtip fences. All right, while we do that, alright, yep, so here we go. We are pretty much on approach here. We're turning onto final. Alright, we're going to activate our approach mode, which means our localizer or loc star For the France traffic, AFR604 were established on the ILS runway 10 for the France. All right, so here we go. We're gonna go ahead with flaps 1. Bring our flaps in, so we can be. All right, here goes our missed approach is already being populated, or it has been populated already. Wonder if I can do an full auto land here. Okay, put that back, please. Thank you. All right, glide slope star, and we're on the glide slope. Check our QNH, verified, and we're established on the glide slope. Go ahead, missed approach altitude is selected. AP2 is on. All right. We have a wind coming across here, steady crosswind. Nothing that the aircraft can't handle. Flaps select 2, gear down. Landing lights and runway turn-offs are on. Spoilers are going to armed. And the terrain as required. We're all set. Gear down, 3 green. Flaps 3. Flaps full. For landing checklist, cabin crew is advised. EFIS as required. CU is on approach, and the terrain is as required. Landing gear down, flaps set landing, spoilers armed, auto brakes are set low. FCU autopilot 2 is on, engine mode selector is as required. Serial lights, nose wheel lights, runway turn off, and go around altitude is all set. That's our checklist complete, and we are in view of the airport landing. We've got 14 knots from our right. We're gonna allow this to do its full auto land because I don't trust the input delay. I can do it, but I'm feeling like I gotta do it. Alright, there's the wind. The wind is increasing. I'm gonna allow this to be an auto land. The wind is popping out. 2,000 feet. I was planning to do a return flight, however, due to the fact that I got a massive headache from work, I'm definitely not going to be doing a second flight. I'm just going to allow the aircraft to fly, and yeah. I'm thinking, let's see how it handles. Oh. I'm thinking I gotta take control of this aircraft in a second. Because the winds are kind of all over the place, and I don't think the autopilot can handle an auto land in this type of weather. I would be more inclined to make adjustments a lot faster. Check. We're straight on. Aircraft is holding nice. Oof, that's 19 knots. For some reason, that's the power.
100 above. 400.
Land.
Minimum
Continue.
300. 200.
Winds are directly
100.
down the runway.
50, 40, 30,
Clear.
20, 10. Retard.
Oof. All right, so let's get off the EAP. For some reason, wait, double click. All right, there we go. Looks like a pretty hard landing because this aircraft felt like it hit that runway like a brick. All right, let's go ahead. APU set to on. Flaps going up. Flaps to 0. APU mass start is on. Let's exit the runway right here. I wanted to see how it will handle an auto land here in Martinique, and it disappointed remarkably. That was a firm touch of it because I was like, huh, it's floating. Then all of a sudden it just hit. All right. Strobes off, are set to auto. And we're here. Go ahead, disarm our auto throttles. All right, set back to all. Auto. TCAS standby. With the radar. All right, we're just going in. And our gate is right here, so we're all set. These are all off. Flight directors, ILS is off. Gotta switch these off. All right, 6 Bravo. All right, here we go. Frigate 6. We should have turned our brake fans on, but I think it's okay where we wouldn't have any overheated brakes. There we go. All right, turn this off. Run our brake fans. Should be coming to a stop shortly. We're in a little bump right there. And then stop right there. All right, parking brake is set. Nose lights are off. APU start on. Wing anti-ice off. Engine anti-ice off. We're in the gate. We're all good. So our parking brake is on. APU bleed is going on right now. Engine masters are going off. Fuel pumps right now are going off. Beacon lights are going off. Seatbelt signs are going off. Transponder mode is off. Anti-ice off, exterior lights are as required. External power, get external power on now. APU master and start is going off at this time. I'm not sure what GSX wants. Okay, Ford cargo. There we go. Alright, yo guys, welcome to Fort de France. Got our brake fans on because our wheel temperature is pretty high. Turn radar off. And we are all here. Not sure where they're coming from. Don't they open the door? That's weird. Alright, let's go ahead and open those doors. Will I fall out if I walk here? Yep, I will. That is very interesting. Oh well, it's all good. Right now that loud sound that you hear is our brake fans. You can see the fans down here. Beautiful. Alrighty. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining me on this stream. I guess I'm gonna go take a rest now. Have a great